Now let's continue with starting to remove the motherboard. Now that we've got these LED lights on clamp, so we're going to take out the four screws that are holding the motherboard in place. And that should free us up at least to take a look and see what's going on directly underneath. We just want to be careful not to nick any of the electronics or the components here. Alright, so that's 2, this is 3, and this is the last one here. Now there are a couple cables attached. I'm going to do my best to leave the ones that are on the motherboard side intact to the extent possible, but I do fully realize that there are some that I'm completely going to have to remove. To this front one right over here. Alright, so that's done. This one down here looks like it's where is that going? I'm not sure what this one does, but we'll remove this one here. If I can get to it. Looks like I'm missing a tab somewhere. Just gonna gently pry on this. And it's almost out. Just a little bit more. There we go. That's that one. And there's a couple more here on this side. Looks like this one. Alright, that one came off pretty easy. And so did that one. So let's lift this up and see what we've got going on underneath. Alright, so if I lift this up, for the most part we're just about free. I see that the power module I'm going to have to undo. Okay, let me give you guys a peek here, see what's going on underneath. So that's what it looks like underneath the motherboard. To remove the Lightbridge antennas, what you want to do is towards the top of the leg, you want to find the very top opening right here, and you just kind of pry a very thin screwdriver in there, and the rest of the antenna should pry right out. Yep. You should be able to pull it with your hands, and just repeat the same process. Just be gentle and repeat the same process for all 4 of them. They should all come out the same way. And one more to go. See if I can get in there. Give you guys a better view. That's it. Now one other cable that's still plugged in is the compass. I've taken it off from the motherboard. That's this wire right here, and it's sitting in the back leg. I can get you guys a view right here. So let's go ahead and flip this over here and start removing the legs. So we've got some leverage. So now we're going to remove the landing gears since we've got the Lightbridge antennas out. What you're going to do is take your T6 Torx bit, excuse me, your T8 Torx bit, and just screw each of the legs. There should be 2 on each leg for a total of 8. And as you go around, just make sure you have someplace safe to put the screws that are coming out. And we're just going to work our way around to get all 8 of them out. So now that we've got all of our screws out for all of our legs, so you can see one side I've already removed and the antenna looks like that. I pulled the compass out through the body of the aircraft, so I didn't have to remove it from this leg. But if I'm going to paint the legs, I'm going to have to remove this out before I paint the landing gear. But actually I have some spares that I painted, so I'll just transfer that compass there. So to remove the legs, you just got to gently pull on them. One thing to keep in mind, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little white foam insert in the middle to close the gap for where the wire sits. You do want to hold on to these because these are not provided with the new shell, nor are they provided with the landing gear. They look like that. There should be 4 of them, and this little crack right here is where the wire goes through. One of them is significantly bigger, and that's the one that feeds the compass as well as the Lightbridge antenna. So just pull up on this leg, and the foam insert's going to cause it just a little bit of resistance. Just pull it through here like that, and stick that in your cup or wherever you're holding the screws. Stick the screws in as well, and then all you're going to do is pull the Lightbridge antenna gently through this gap, and it should fit right through on all sides for both landing gears. And now we've got our landing gears free. So I ended up deciding to paint the legs, and fairly decent paint job. There's a couple of missed spots, but the Lightbridge antenna should cover most of that. The compass is going to go here, so I'm going to take the compass out of my original stock leg and then just place it right here. So to do that, you just need a really tiny Phillips screwdriver bit, and just unscrew both sides. And that should take the cap right off. So the compass is generally glued inside, but with just a little bit of pressure it should come right out. And I'm just gonna pull it out if I can here. So there's just a tad bit of glue, so you just undo that with your screwdriver gently. See if I can yank it out with my tweezers here. Alright, so I got it off and I've got it into the new leg. I ended up painting the cap black as well, just to match the rest of the landing gear. Just going to screw that other side back in. And that should be good to go. We'll set that aside for when we put this back together, and hopefully it'll work. Now I'm going to take my hex bit and start undoing the front motors. I'm going to leave the back ones intact. I've turned this upside down, knowing full well that when I flip this over, it's going to be just a lot to hold all at once. So all the parts are loose. I probably should have planned that a little bit better, but it is what it is, and we'll hope for the best. So each motor will have 4 screws that are holding it in place. If you're using a Torx wrench, it's going to be a T8. If not, it's going to be a 5/64 hex bit that goes into here to open these up. And when you put them back on, make sure you don't tighten them too much. They just need to be firm. They don't need to be drilled in place, if you will. Let's see. And that should free up that one. Alright, so I've removed the front screws. For the back ones, I'm going to remove all of them except one, and that's because I just want them to be held in place. I'm not ready to undo the back motors yet. It'll just be a lot to hold when you turn the aircraft back over to get the motherboard off. So I'm just going to do 3 of them and just leave one of them on. And I've got a cup for these somewhere. Here we go. All of the motor screws. Alright, so now we're ready to turn the aircraft back over, and we're going to need to hold on to these out in front. We don't want these to hang by their wires and come undone, so just let them sit in place for now. The other thing you could do is, since we have the legs off, it's kind of the reason why we did it in the first place, is let them sit flush against the ground. Either way is fine. Just make sure these wires don't come undone. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we need to pull the motherboard up so we can look under here to see the battery compartment. So the only thing that should really be anchoring this now is the cable coming up from the from where the gimbal was. So let's go ahead and pull all these pieces out. And let's take a look and see what we've got underneath here. So we gently pull this up. If I can yank this cable out from underneath. Looks like I'm going to have to undo the USB wire first. Okay. Bit of a cluster down there, but we'll get to it. And those are 2 Phillips screws that I can see right down in there.